Welcome everybody to my channel, Our Green Acres, and if you're new today, my name is Teresa. Today's video is going to be all about bows. I'm also going to give you some ideas and inspiration for a great Mother's Day gift. So if you're looking for something special to send to your mother or that special someone coming up on Mother's Day, y'all stay tuned. This video has been a highly requested one. I have comments and viewers all the time asking me to do a how to make my bows video. Well, I make bows in so many of my videos and put it on so many of my projects. So I went through and compilated the bow making in many of my videos, and I'll have original links to the videos down below. But this is just going to be a one video of how we can make a lot of different types of bows. If you like shabby chic, French country, if you like primitive, or you like farmhouse, I think this is going to be the video for you. And I'm also going to throw in some bonus footage of some cute little embellishments that we can make that were highly popular when I put out the videos. So y'all stay tuned, and I hope y'all enjoy the video. If you haven't joined my Facebook home decor page, I'd love for you to go over and join it, and also go over and follow me on Pinterest and Instagram. The first bow we're going to work on is going to be a burlap bow, and this bow will it's so generic the way I'm making it that you could use it for just about any season. But this is a coffee bean bag, and I don't know if y'all have seen these or you have, been somewhere where they sell them. But we have a local shop that, it has florals and gifts, and they had like a stack of these one day, and they were $2 each. These coffee bags are huge. So basically, I'm just going to cut it up, and what I want to do is I'm trying to get the writing on the front because I think that really gives it character, and I think that will, make the bow very unique, and it kind of also gives it that more of a rustic, primitive look. So basically I'm going to cut two strips. The strip I'm cutting right now is going to be the tail of the bow, and then the other piece that I cut it a little bit longer, and I'm going to make that, and that's going to be the top of the bow. And basically you just want to, attach it at both ends to where you have a circle, and once you get your circle, then you're going to want to go in where the middle is, and you're going to want to cinch it in the middle. And I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue to pinch it because this burlap right here, it's a little bit stiff, so that glue just gives it a little bit better of a bond. So I'm just going to take it down with a little bit of glue and just pinch it right there in the center, and then we're going to add the tail to the bottom. And this is the way that I add the tail to it. I just kind of cinch it up on the bottom, and then I'm going to get a piece of twine and I'm going to tie it on. So that's how easy it is to make this bow. In this bow, you could add to it, you could, embellish it, and I'm going to show you some other ideas throughout the video of how you can use the bow and add a little bit to it. But as you can see, I styled it on the rag wreath that I made, and I will have a link to the video to this DIY down in my description box. This is going to be a cute little bow, and these bows you could also use throughout the seasons, and you could use these at Christmas. But you're going to need 3 strips, and I'm using some burlap that I have, and you want to probably the longest strip that I cut was probably 12 inches. I'm doing the same circle technique where I glued the ends together, and then I'm going to put the little tail on the back, and it's probably about 6 to 8 inches long. And then you're going to want another little smaller strip to make a band for the center, and you're just going to wrap that around the 2 pieces, and you're going to secure the ends with hot glue. And then you're going to want to trim the excess burlap that you have, and just pull your band tight, and like I say, just secure it with some hot glue, and you've got a cute bow. This little bow is really easy and simple to make, and it makes such a cute embellishment. You can put this on, photo frames, you can put it on, wall decor, you could add it to your wreath or any kind of floral arrangement that you have, and it makes such a great little embellishment piece. And you can see how easy and simple it was to make. Now this bow right here is the Messy Rag Bow, and I got the inspiration off of Instagram of how to make these, and I started making them, you know, just about in every video I make one of these and put it on something. I love this, and this is the way I make them. I just start getting scrap fabric. I get different textures. I get different colors. I get different patterns. I just stack as many as I want on top of each other, and you just, you know, you have to make it your desired size. If you want a really full one, then you'll, of course, want to add more strips. If you want, you know, a smaller bow, you can use less strips. You want to tie it in the center and make sure you've got it in the center before you secure the knot, and then you just want to fluff it out, and then basically then I just go to the edge on each side and just give it a little haircut just to trim it up. And to me, this makes it, you know, makes the bow a little bit fuller. And then, like I say, just kind of fluff it out. And then I'm going to show you if you want to put a, you know, a tail on it. Just get longer strips and fold them over in the center. Just loop them over, and then you want to attach them to the back, or you know, up underneath on the bottom. And then you want to take a piece of, I'm using some lace, but you could also use twine, or, you know, a piece of strip fabric, whatever you want to make for your center. But anyway, just tie that in the middle, make sure it's in the middle, and secure that with a knot. Now I'm going to show you real quick just another way you can make the messy bow. And a lot of people make it this way, and they call it, you know, a crisscross bow. But you just want to take your, you know, your fabrics or your lace or your ribbons. You know, you just want to vary your patterns and your colors, and you just want to lay them down like you just saw in like a cross pattern. And you just want to, you know, alternate your colors of fabric and your lace and your ribbons, and just put a variety of colors in there. And that's what really brings it together and just really, you know, adds to it. And also, you saw I added some raffia in it. That just gives it a little bit more texture, and if you really want that little more of a rustic look, add your raffia in, and then you just tie it in the center, and then, you know, you go around the edges and the sides, give it a little haircut, and this is what really makes it come together and gives it that little poof. And then you just kind of want to fluff it out. I tied it in the center with some lace, just added another little dimension to it, and you see how cute this is. And I'm pairing it now with that little rustic primitive burlap bow that we made. Now I'm going to show you how to make a really easy looped bow. And I just got some burlap, and this is, you know, stitched on the sides so it's not going to ravel. And then I'm just going to go in, I made single loops, and then I'm just going to tie it in the center with some twine. And I left some tails, and this is a great bow that you can make at any size that you want. I made this one a larger size, but when you make it larger, you can also go in and layer and put smaller ones on top of it and have more of a layered bow. This bow is a great accent to add to wreaths, you know, your big floral bouquets. And it's very easy to make. And like, I'm going to add just a little bit more texture to it. I'm going to take some more of that coffee bean bag with the writing, and I'm going to add another little tail to it just to give it a little bit more texture and give it more of that primitive look. Now see how easy this was and how cute this turned out. Now I'm going to show you how we can add a little bit more natural element to it. So I just took several strands of the raffia and I looped it on each side, just do single loops, and then bring it up in the center, and then you'll want to secure it. And I'm going to use some twine. I'm just going to tie it in the center, and then, you know, just want to tie it in a knot, tie it really tight, get a good, you know, grip to it, and then just kind of fluff it out, as you go. And to me, this just adds just that really natural earthy look to your bow. So if you want, sometimes if your bow needs something, don't be, afraid to get your raffia out and just kind of throw some of it on it, because I love the texture of the raffia. Now I want to give y'all a great gift idea for Mother's Day. Mother's Day is right around the corner, and also there's going to be graduations and weddings coming up, I'm sure. This would make a great gift for anybody that you need a really unique, beautiful gift for. This is my third bouquet of roses from Rose Forever of New York. And what makes their roses and their products so special is they last up to 1 year. These roses are preserved with natural oils, and they come in 3 different kinds of boxes. This is the clear acrylic, and I will leave a link to the one that I have down below. They come in different sizes. They come, in square, and they come in round shaped boxes. They have black velvet, and they also have like a pink suede velvet. They're beautiful. I have now each of the colors, and this one I think is going to be my favorite. And as you can see, it's got a little pull-out drawer down below. So how cute is this, and how unique. Now, they've offered all of my viewers a $20 off coupon. I'm going to leave a link to their shop down below in my description box, and also with a discount code. Make sure to go out, shop their website, because if you need a gift for Mother's Day, and they're also running a sale right now for Mother's Day, or just for, a special occasion for someone special in your life, these make a great gift. My neighbor ordered a bouquet of these for her daughter for her birthday. She says she absolutely loved them. So I hope y'all will go out and check out Rose Forever of New York. If you like this video so far, I hope you'll hit that like button. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd love for you to. Now I'm going to show you how to make some little twine flowers. And these were really popular. Basically, you're going to want to take some thin strands of twine. So I just pulled some out of a piece of burlap. And that way you've got some that are really thin. And then you're going to want to take them and you're going to want to wrap them around your fingers. Now, I did around, I think, about 6 times. But depending on how big you want your flowers, you can wrap them as many times as you want. So I wrapped them around, and then you're just going to want to take those off your fingers. And, you've got loops now on each end. And you just want to secure that with some twine in the center, tied in a knot. And then once I made 4 of them. And once I got my 4 made, then you want to overlap them, but you don't want them to go directly on top of each other. You just kind of want to fill in those little gaps because basically what we're doing is we're forming a flower petal. So that's the way you want to form it. And then I just go in with some scissors and I just trim those little strands off. And then you can embellish the center of this, with anything you want. You can use some totally dazzled jewelry, you can use some buttons, you can use pearls, whatever that you have and whatever theme you're going for. And here I'm just showing you how I made some with some pink twine that I had. And again, I just pulled some strands of twine out of a strip of burlap, and you can see I just wrapped it around my fingers again. I'm securing it in the center, and like I say, tied in a really good knot and secure it really good. And then I'm just going to make a pink one. And you can make these, any size you want. You can make them, if you want to make them smaller, you just want to wrap them around less fingers. If you want to make a smaller one, maybe wrap around two or three of your fingers instead of your whole, 4 fingers. And you can just make different sizes. And these make such cute little embellishments for your projects. Now here I'm just taking a picture frame. I'm showing you another option that you can wrap your twine around instead of your fingers, and this one's going to make a bigger one. So if you want to make bigger ones, maybe your hand or your fingers aren't going to be large enough, then get something and wrap it around, and that's what I use. I just use a picture frame. And this one is going to make a larger one, as you can see. Then you can overlap them, and you can layer them and put, the different colors on top of each other. Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold. No matter what I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why, I'm always feeling homesick. Now let's make another Shabby Rag Bow. This was one that I did 2 falls ago, but it was very popular, and it kind of got me started in this whole rag bow making. And here I'm just ripping up some material that I have to scrap, fabric. And me, I just like to rip, and I love to have those frayed edges. I love that rustic look, and I just pulled some strips, and now I use a lot of flower sackcloth, but this was just a piece of fabric. So now you just want to start making loops, and as you can see, you don't have to twist the fabric because it is the same fabric on both sides. This is a very floppy type fabric, so I don't like working a lot with wired ribbon like a lot of people do. I really like to work and make my bows more of a floppy style. So I'm just making loops, and you can see as I get one looped up and I run out of fabric, I just secure it down with a clothespin until I can come back to it, and then I get another strip of fabric and I just start looping it. And then you just kind of want to layer them on top of each other, and you can layer as many bows as you want to, just depending on how much fluff you want and how big of a bow you want. Now I'm just taking another strip of that fabric, and I'm just tying it really good in the center just to get it real secure. And now I'm going to give it a tail. Now the tail is what's really fun, because you can just go in and take scraps of ribbons and lace and tear more of your fabric strips. And I always tell y'all, bed sheets make great ribbons and laces and stuff, and don't forget doilies. If you have a lot of doilies, or you find them at thrift stores, quite inexpensive, those make really pretty laces and ribbons too. So just keep making bows, just keep making your loops, and you just layer the different colors and the different textures of the ribbons and the lace, because I love this type ribbon right here. And a lot of times you can find this at Dollar Tree, and they'll have it in a lot of different colors, and this is where I got this from. But I'm just layering it on top of it, and then I'll secure it on with some hot glue, and then I'm going to add an embellishment to it. And you can see it's a little bit shabby chic, and I gave it some Farmhouse because I love to add burlap to things. But in the original video, I'm showing you how to make a dried hydraulic hydrangea centerpiece with a wooden utility box that I had. And so I showed you the whole process of how I dried these hydrangeas. But anyway, then I just made the shabby chic bow to go on it. And I love this bow. And now I'm just kind of trimming up the tails a little bit. You know, you just do this if you need to. And, you know, I think this turned out really cute. And I also want to add, I always put Totally Dazzle's website link and my affiliate link down in my description box. So if you ever need any jewelry or bling for your DIY projects, always go to my description box and go out and shop their website. Now I'm going to show you how we can make a really easy fabric bow. You know, wonder if you don't have lace or ribbon or anything like that on hand, you can use fabric. So take whatever fabric you have, and I DIY'd this urn and I put this rooster on it because this is a French country piece. So I got this buffalo check, and Walmart always has a huge selection of quarters and, you know, a 1 yard pre-cut fabric. They have a whole aisle of all kinds of colors and patterns, and I got this there, and you can see how I just looped it again, because basically the bows that I make are just looped bows. They're very easy and very simple to make, and this is a single looped bow, and then I'm just going to tie it with the same fabric with a strip that I ripped, and then you're just going to tie it off, and that's all you do. Now if you wanted to make a little smaller one and you wanted to layer it on top of it, you know, and make it a little bit bigger, you definitely could. But I just made it real simple, and I tied it on the side, and I think it was the perfect addition to this little rooster urn. Now I'm going to show y'all my favorite bow of all, and that's the bow that I make so many times out of flour sack towels. Now I get a lot of questions about where I purchased these. You can get a 2-pack for $2 at Dollar General, but a lot of grocery stores and Walmart, a lot of times in the dish towel section, will have these. You just want to take your towel, you want to drench it in your leftover coffee, and you just want to get it, you know, saturated all over, and then you just want to squeeze out the excess. Then you want to throw it in the dryer and let it dry. Now, while it is in the dryer, I'm going to show you how we can make a little more of a narrow type bow. I've made a wider one, and I'll show you in a minute how to make it. But I'm just going to show you, we want to take those hemmed edges off. So I just cut a little strip, I get it started, and then you can rip. And the thing that I like about working with this flour sack towel is it's very thin, gauzy type material, so it rips really good, and then you get those frayed edges. So I'm just going around now, and I just ripped my edges off, and now I want to cut strips, and I'm going to do 3. And you saw I just got it started with my scissors, and then you can just rip it really easy. So I'm going to rip 3 strips, all of them consistently, you know, about the same size. And this is probably about 1 inch wide, I guess. And now I'm going to take it, and all we're going to do is we're going to loop it. You see how I'm looping it? You don't have to twist it. You just want to loop it from side to side. And usually for a full bow like I usually do about 3 loops on each side. See where I ran out? I'm at the end of my fabric. Just secure that down with your fingers and start a new piece. Get a new strip, take the edge, put it in the center, you know, clamp it down with your fingers, and just start looping again. Now you just kind of work it as you go, and like I say, if you want to make your bow bigger and more loops, you know, you just make sure to rip more strips of fabric, and then I just took that 3rd strip, and that's what I tied it with. Now I like to tie mine where I have the tie in the front instead of that smoothed edge. I feel like it bunches it up a little bit more in the center, but if you want that smoothed edge for your center, then you need to put the one that you tied on, you want to put that on the front instead of the back like I did. Now I've got my coffee stained towel out of the dryer. It's dry, it's ready to go. I'm doing the same thing. I rip those edges off so I get that frayed look. Now I'm doing wider strips because this will make a bigger bow. And I'm just taking, this is probably maybe 3 inches wide. And I cut one, I ripped it, and then I'm using it for a pattern so they'll be a consistent size. And I'm going to do the same thing. You just want to start looping, and this is how you determine what size bow you want, is these first 2 loops. Make sure you get them, even on both sides, and once you do, then you just start, getting your other strips and just making your 3 loops. Now you can see I didn't have enough fabric on that first strip, so I left that tail, and I started over with a new one. Now when you get to the end and you've got your bow made, if you want to leave those tails on, you can. If you want to trim those to where you don't see them, you can do that. I do it different ways. Now on this one I'm going to leave them, but I am going to trim them up some. Now you just want to take your bow and you just kind of want to fluff it and work with it. And then I just took one of those edges that I ripped off, and that's what I tied my center with. But you can tie it with anything. You can tie it with lace, twine, another strip, whatever you want to do. And now I'm just going to take some scissors and I'm just going to trim that tail off just so it's a little bit more even for the bow. Now, like I say, just fluff it out, and now you can layer these. You can put that smaller one on top of the larger one. I love making these. I've made these in so many of my videos and on so many of my projects. And like I say, for $1 for one flour sack towel, and you can see we didn't even use a portion of the towel, so we've still got, plenty of it left for other projects. So I'm just styling it now to show you how cute it looks. I just stuck it on my garden rake mug rack, and I have a video on that, so I'll link it below too. And that little dish rack, I ordered that off of Amazon. I love it. I'm going to link it in my Amazon store. Now I want to show you, if you don't have coffee or you want a different color, around Christmas time I was making some projects and I did not have the color of ribbon that I wanted, so I thought, why not try to make some? So I watered down some paint. In this case, I wanted pink, so I took some of my pink craft paint that I had. I added some water, and I made like a light stain. So that is another option you can do. Instead of staining it with coffee, you can stain it with watered down craft paint. And it's such an inexpensive way to get the color of fabric or bow that you want. You kind of can make your own ribbons in your own colors. So now I'm just going to style it and let y'all see the cute ways that you can use these bows. Alright y'all, it's that time again where I'm going to tell y'all goodbye to my next video. I hope you enjoyed the video today, and I hope y'all enjoyed seeing all the different ways that we can make some really cute bows. And don't forget to go out and get the discount code for Rose Forever of New York to go out and shop their website for Mother's Day or any special occasion. Thanks y'all.